So the skyconfig form builder can be used to add custom context menu entries to your context menu for various applications or just individual files. So what I'm going to do is use this apps heading to add something to it. So let's see this skyconfig first. So what can we find in this package? First of all, here's a list of applications that are bundled in this. Essentially, they can be used to edit different kinds of values, like some attributes, edit the placeholder, a background image, or any kind of image that is stored as a child image, child file of the target file that we are customizing, edit its title or its body. And this page is the form page itself that has to be used as the type of the file that is added to the context menu. Here are a couple of examples that you can check out. So for example, if I click this, we will land in an actual form where we can either edit the value or look at the inherited. So that here is the type chain, and these values inherit from, like, along the type chain from the application towards the actual instance. So here, if the setting is true, it can be either used the inherited value or you can override it at the local level. If there are multiple form fields, this blue line shows that there is an actual local value defined where we are currently, and then this form field is open as well. If I click this, you will see that it's collapsed now. If there are no local values defined here, they will show up collapsed, and this blue line will show up as if it was blue. Actually, let me show that. Go for inherited value, okay. Come back here, you will see it's gray and it's closed. If we define it again, I think it was bar, okay, and come back. Now you can see it's open and it's blue. All right, so there are a couple more examples here. So for example, there's the image, which is a little bit more interesting probably than a single number. Okay, let me go back. So anyway, there are some examples. The reason why it's quite useful is because you can go and find it in the IDE and look at, so this is like the application file that I'm going to override here. So inside it, if we go inside there, you can see that we created a context menu file of type context menu 1, and within that there's another file called properties. So this is the text that is going to show up in the context menu. Let me do that actually. I click the icon and you can see its properties is there. And there's this slash page. If you install this skyconfig file, you will see something like skyconfig.boomla.net/page. Here, because we are on the same website, we don't need to use that prefix. So after the type is set, you will end up with an empty form, and then you can add your custom form fields here and configure them. So let me do that here. So we go, actually let me go to the skyconfig page. It's not in the apps, the Boomla store at the moment. It will be just added in, well, a couple of minutes. So long, I am going to use this install on Boomla button and select my playground website, this one. That's where I'm going to install it. Cannot import uncommitted branch. Yes, because I just modified it. Sorry for that. Open it, undo, undo. I was playing with the values. I shouldn't have done that. Try again. Okay, now it's installed. Come back here, new. And as you can see, there are a couple of skyconfig entries here. Loads of them. So let's open the context menu here, sorry, the IDE, and go inside apps and create a .context menu file here. Note the dot, and its type shall be context menu 1. And inside it, if you create anything and give it a title, whatever, this will show up in the context menu. Now if I click this, because it doesn't have a type, we will get an error. So we want to use a type of the application that we have, like the form page that we have just installed. So one way to do that is just come here and drag that Sky config page somewhere and check its type. Maybe show in IDE, this one, open. So we need this type here. The reason I'm not dropping it from the toolbar right into apps, because, well, we can't do it there because it's not type safe. And if I drop it in the IDE this way, this will be moved and you will lose it from the toolbar. So that would be not what we want. All right, so let me come back here. Did I copy this? Control C, or just copy so that you can see what I do. And now we can remove that and go to Apps, Context Menu, and our page type, and maybe give it some more user-friendly name like Preferences, or what was that? I like the other name, forgot it. Properties, yeah. Okay, and give it a better name as well. Okay, so now that we have set this up, we can come here and say Properties, and we land on an empty form. Now we can use our toolbar from here to add values. So for example, let's use an integer value and drag it into the form. And it says the attribute name is not configured. We want to configure that. So again, open the context menu and edit attribute name. And the attribute name shall be whatever, or maybe call it height, something more meaningful. And it's not defined yet, there's no value assigned, so it's closed. Let's give it, yeah, I like 30. All right, so now if we go back here and find our apps file, you will see that now it has a height of 30 assigned. Okay, let's add some more properties. So again, you just go into the properties from the context menu and can add more things here. So for example, I would like to add an image, because that's fun. Again, add its attribute name. You can see it's stored in the child file named background.png. Maybe that's fine. And let's pick an image and say, okay, I want to upload that. Now if we go into apps, you will find a background image. If we open that, you can see it's an actual image we uploaded. Let me show you one of the more involved examples. I'll just remove that for now, which is one of the select, string select or string select, the other one. Let's put it at the top. So you want to have a list of options here. To do that, you can't use a visual editor for that. You only create files on the file system. So the actual name we can change here, let's call it choice. And there are option A, B, C. So here again, you click it and go show in IDE. That's the easiest way to get there. There's a string select. And there's 3 options. So whatever is the title of that file, best choice. This is a so-so choice, and let's give it a bad choice. Okay, and rename the file. So this is going to be the actual value. So let's just call it best so-so and bad. Okay, let's refresh this. So now you have a best choice, so-so choice, and bad choice. Let's pick the bad choice and save it. And look at the actual attributes on the apps file. So you can see the choice is now bad. So the file name of the choice was used. So that's roughly it. There are a couple more options, as you can see on the Sky config documentation as well. The rest is like placeholder select uses the same mechanism as a string select, and essentially all the others are pretty simple. So you will be able to figure it out, or just look at the examples and they will help. The usage is describing pretty much what I have explained. So that's it.